The Holy War. These two words evoke memories that resonate far beyond the state of Utah. This isn't just a game, nor merely a rivalry. It is a clash of histories, a collision of communities, and a tradition that spans more than a century. Today, we journey through the heart of one of the most storied rivalries in college basketball. Picture this. The snow-capped Wasatch Mountains rise like silent witnesses to an age-old battle. In the valleys below, two schools, separated by just 45 miles, prepare for yet another clash. Yet, this rivalry is anything but silent. It roars with passion of generations. BYU Cougars and Utah Utes, neighbors but never friends. We begin our tale in 1909. The sport of basketball was still in its infancy. Dr. James Naismith's invention had only begun to take root in American culture. But here in Utah, it found fertile ground. BYU and Utah faced off for the first time in what was then a fledgling sport, but the seeds of the rivalry were planted. However, this was no ordinary competition. The rivalry grew from more than just wins and losses. It became entwined with religion, culture, and identity. To understand the Holy War, you must understand its players, on and off the court. BYU stands as the pride of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For its students, sports are often an extension of faith, a celebration of discipline, honor, and community. On the other hand, the University of Utah, often referred to simply as the U, represents a broader cultural cross-section, a place where athletic excellence merges with innovation in a diverse student body. The divide is palpable. Fans from Provo chant with hymnal precision, while Utah's crowd prefers a raucous roar, their cheers laced with a defiance that echoes their independent spirit. But here's a fact for you. BYU once held its own prayer sessions before games during the 1940s, believing divine intervention could aid their team. Utah fans responded with signs that read, "God doesn't pick sides." And who could argue with that logic? Ah, the games. What stories they tell. Let's step back to the 1979 season. BYU's Danny Ainge, yes, that Danny Ainge, was lighting up the courts. Against Utah, Ainge scored 45 points, a record that still sends chills down the spines of Ute fans. But Utah struck back 2 years later with an overtime thriller, cementing their own legend, Pace Mannion, as a fan favorite. And who could forget 1991? The Huntsman Center erupted when the Utes' Josh Grant outdueled BYU's Tyrell Lede, scoring 37 points in a game that fans still call the miracle on campus. But it's not just the players who made these games unforgettable. Did you know that in 1987, BYU fans launched a choreographed cheer that required months of preparation? Their rendition of a human wave that spelled out Cougars across the entire arena was so impactful it made national news. The Holy War isn't confined to the basketball court. Its spirit seeps into everyday life in Utah. From family dinners where allegiances split households to businesses offering discounts based on your team's color, the rivalry is everywhere. Here's a story you may not have heard. In 1996, a BYU alumnus and a Utah grad co-founded a successful tech startup. But their boardroom meetings were often interrupted by debates over game highlights, with bets made on everything from future scores to who would buy lunch. And then there's the lore of the Holy War wedding. In 2004, a couple, one a diehard BYU fan and the other a Utah fanatic, held their wedding at halftime during a game. The ceremony included a referee officiating, a basketball hoop as the altar, and fans cheering wildly in the stands. Though the times changed, the rivalry persists. Conference alignments may have reduced the frequency of these games, but when they happen, the energy is electric. Both teams carry the weight of history on their shoulders and the hopes of their passionate fans. As we reflect on this enduring rivalry, it's clear that the Holy War is more than just basketball. It's a celebration of what makes sports great: the drama, the camaraderie, and the stories. Now it's your turn to be part of this legacy. Whether you're a BYU Cougar or a Utah Ute, share your memories, your traditions, and your hopes for the future of the Holy War. Tag us on social media, or better yet, bring a new generation into this grand rivalry. And don't forget, tune in next time as we travel to Kansas City for the Border War. Another clash that proves rivalries are the heartbeat of college basketball. Until then, remember, basketball isn't just a sport. It's a storyteller, and the Holy War is one of its greatest tales. That's all for today's episode of Campus Chronicles Beyond the Game. If you enjoyed our look at the Holy War, be sure to follow and share the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. Campus Chronicles Beyond the Game is a JourneyWise Studios production.